Kenyan actress Jackie Matubia has shared intimate details about her past relationship with fellow actor Blessing Lungam. The mother of two explained her decision to ask Blessing to leave her house, a choice influenced by her initial reluctance towards marriage and the challenges that arose after they became engaged. Speaking in a conversation with Dr. Obweneke on November 13th, Jackie disclosed that she never wanted to marry Blessing Lungam, expressing that she had made her stance on marriage clear from the very beginning, comparing her time with Blessing to her previous relationship with her first baby's father, who is a pilot. Jackie Matubia pointed out that the latter was her only real marriage. My wake-up call was my second marriage, she said. I wouldn't even call it a marriage because we never really went through with it in true sense. My first marriage was real, and I remember telling Blessing that I didn't want marriage, I didn't want to walk down the aisle. Jackie shared that her hesitance stemmed from the feeling that she was not in a place where marriage aligned with her goals and desires. And Jackie's perspective shifted after the birth of her daughter Zedaya. Reflecting on her experience as a mother, she acknowledged that becoming a parent made her evaluate the relationship differently, especially in terms of the well-being of her child. She said when she got Zedaya, she had a moment of clarity, and she kept on asking herself if this was the life she wanted for herself, but she also constantly worried about what people would say. Jackie admitted that she initially focused more on the relationship than on her first child, a choice she came to question. Observing her daughter, she could see fear in her eyes, and it motivated her to make some tough decisions. And she says that she told God that she wanted to work on herself and become a better mother. And she explained that she was determined to give her daughter the stability and care she deserved. In the end, Jackie Matubia went ahead to ask Blessing Lungao to leave their home, fully aware of the challenges ahead as a single mother, and she described the experience as familiar territory, recalling her journey raising her first child with a co-parenting arrangement. But despite her efforts to encourage Blessing Lungao to stay active in Zedaya's life, Jackie felt disheartened when he did not engage as she had hoped. When I told the dad to go, he left. In my head, I was like, this is not the first time to raise a kid out of marriage and co-parent. And I fought. Mimi na kiburi yangu, God knows I fought for the dad to be in the daughter's life, but he did not. And you cannot force a man. I tried, and I can only do much. While driven by anger, Jackie initially contemplated legal action to secure support for her daughter, and she took the matter to court, but in the end reconsidered her decision. Jackie admitted that she harbored resentment even toward her daughter at times because of the feelings of failure and disappointment she carried. She said that she cried because she failed this little girl, and all she did was just be born and and she says that her friends are the ones who encouraged her to go to court. And she said at that time she was very bitter and she wanted Blessing Lungam to suffer, but at the end, Jackie, utakuwa unaamka 5th of every month to bombard this person because of 20,000. Is it even worth it? Is my child even worth it? No, hakuna haja. Jackie went ahead to credit her nanny for stepping in and providing stability for Zedaya when she felt unable to handle it alone. And she says that when the nanny stepped up, it wasn't just about the nanny doing the house chores that she's supposed to be doing, but she says that the nanny gave love, care, assurance, protection, and the protection was coming from just one parent. And she says that she found herself, and she says that she reached a point whereby she said she is done proving herself to people who don't know her. and the only people who I need to prove myself to were her kids. Having moved on, Jackie has shifted her focus to loving and supporting her children, making them top priority. The only She admitted that her tears were not for the end of her relationship, but because of her commitment to become a better mother. She shared that she has remained celibate for 3 years, dedicating herself to personal growth and her children's well-being. Well, guys, do you think that you could stay celibate for 3 years, just like Jackie Matubia has done? Share with us. And moving on to our next story. And Vivian Kenya has shared her feelings of abandonment when she tried to return home, leading to a sense of alienation. Vivian acknowledged that the trauma began long before her divorce, tracing it back to her upbringing and generational curses with her bloodline. On her Instagram stories, Vivian shared a raw reflection on her troubled family relationships and the trauma she has faced. Vivian began by speaking about the pain she endured during her divorce, noting the harsh reactions from her relatives. She said, "When I went through the divorce, my sister called me mentally sick, and her aunt too added to the pressure because her aunt came to harass her in her own house." This behavior left Vivian feeling unsupported and isolated during an already challenging time. And the artist also shared her feelings of abandonment by her family when she tried to return home. "When I attempted to come back home from the West, my mom asked, 'Why should I?' This response left Vivian questioning her place within the family and reinforced her sense of alienation. The lack of empathy from those she expected to provide comfort during a difficult period only deepened her pain." In her post, Vivian explored deeper roots of the emotional scars she carries, and she acknowledged that the trauma she has experienced began long before her divorce, tracing it back to her upbringing. Vivian pointed at generational curses within her bloodline, suggesting that the issues she faces are not isolated but part of a larger pattern. She also spoke about the emotional coldness in her maternal family, saying, "The women on my mom's side are numb and cold, my sister leading the pack." Despite the negativity she has faced, Vivian is resolute in her commitment to break free from the circle of suppression, and she vowed to no longer be silenced by her family on their toxic behavior. "I want them to know they can never silence or break me. I will speak up for myself and my children," Vivian declared. Her post concluded with a powerful statement of deviance where she says, "Suppression, fear, harassment, self-centeredness ends here and now. Siwa Gopi."